Hi, hello, everybody. My name is Turk, and welcome back to the Grouch Couch. You're tuning into a very special start of a very special campaign of Love, Death, and Dice right here on the Grouch Couch. Let's meet our players for tonight.
Hello, I am Fishy, and I will be playing Marrow Wilson.
I'm Proteus, and I will be playing Tilly, the wizard.
And hi, I'm Ray, and I will be playing Professor Scoutmaster Wildthorn.
You're taking the whole name, aren't you?
Yep.
Love that.
So today, we're going to be starting our magical journey into the University of Randomonia, or called Brimstone's University of Mystics. Today, we're going to be using the Kids on Brooms rule set. If you've never played Kids on Brooms before, have no fear. We'll explain as we play. Players, are you ready?
I was born for this.
Of course, our story begins not in the school, but in the city. The city sprawls beneath a gray, cloud-covered sky, its streets packed with workers, merchants, and nobles alike. Despite the grandeur of its towering buildings and deep history, there is an undeniable undercurrent of disdain for magic woven into its daily life. Here, magic is an unnecessary evil. Of course, it powers the lanterns, forges weapons, and keeps the city's protective barriers intact, but the people resent those who wield it. Wizards, witches, and warlocks are even seen as reckless, their power too unpredictable, too unnatural. But then there's the university itself. It stands in the heart of the city, completely invisible to the untrained eye. Those who can see it find themselves staring at a massive ancient structure, impossibly tall, its towers twisting into the sky as if they were drawn by a feverish dream. The people, they know it's here, but they pretend that it isn't, refusing to acknowledge the reality that within those walls, wizards are trained, curses are studied, and the very fabric of existence is toyed with like a child's game. But today, 2 new students are about to step into that very world, whether they are ready for it or not. Our first scene begins in a room, a dark room. The shadows cling to the corners. Marrow stands in this room, in front of a cracked mirror. The surface of this mirror is fogged from the damp air in the room. What do we see Marrow doing?
Marrow would be standing in front of the mirror, and then he would try to bring up his hands and use transmutation type spells to try and rekindle the mirror back to its natural form, but each time he does it, it cracks a little bit more. Nice. He's getting kind of frustrated with it. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he wants to do, but It's just not working right.
Roll me a grit roll, Marrow. We'll call it a grit roll difficulty of 6.
Rolled a 4.
Okay. You, my friend, get to take an adversity token.
Yay. I mean, oh no.
As you're trying to cast magic on this cracked and broken mirror, try to fix it, put it back into place, your hands feel heavy with this magic that doesn't seem to quite be working right. And you look back up to the mirror as it cracks a little bit more, and something shifts in your reflection. The shadow behind you rearranges itself and forms an elegant, curling script, written in the darkness itself. As you lean in closer to the mirror and begin to read the words, it says,
"Fate cannot be avoided, only accepted."
Concerned, but not too concerned. He's gonna read it and just kind of be like, yeah, this thing's just kind of happen in life, so it's fine. Weird stuff has been happening to Marrow for a long time. One would almost say he's cursed.
The words shift again, and it says,
"Your magic, yet untrained, unstable. You have been invited to join Brimstone's University of Mystics."
Whoa, never really got an acceptance letter, though. That's probably the best news I've ever heard in my life. Actually, that's the only good news I have ever heard in my entire life.
The letters, then, they begin to drip like ink. They almost pool at your feet before you before slithering up your arm, and they form a swirling mark on your wrist. The shadow pulls away from the wall, and it forms a portal that yawns open behind you. The whole room lights up in this bright, mystic magic.
He's got to turn away and he's got to walk towards the portal. And then when he walks through the portal, as soon as he's like completely inside the portal, the mirror that he was staring into completely shatters.
Nice.
And lays as a little pile of dust on the ground. And a little wispy black smoke comes out of it.
Nice little ad there. We like that a lot. You know what? For the ad, take another adversity token. Why not? Now you have 2.
Two. That's a good adversity token.
Just because I don't know what else to give, and I think I love that. Okay, we move away from the darkness side of the city. We move to somewhere it's a little bit more warm. The air is warm, the wind rustling gently through the trees. And as the camera pans down to a nice little grassy knoll, we see Tilly. What is Tilly doing?
Tilly's reading a book. I quite enjoy reading. It's one of my few moments away from the family. I come from a rather large family of mages and other scholarly fellows, so I sneak off to the woods every so often just to catch up on a light reading without any interruptions.
As you're reading, the wind suddenly begins to pick up. The book that you're reading, the pages on it begin to flurl. You're having a hard time holding on to your book and your hair, and you're trying to keep everything together. Not even a magic roll. I would like you to also make me a grit roll. We'll call it just a 4.
And I got a 5.
As the wind whips up around you, you hold on to your book. As you hold on to it, how do you keep it close?
Just hold it straight to my chest, baby. We're gonna hold it straight up there.
Very good. Very good. As you're standing there, the leaves all around you that have fallen off this tree swirl around you in almost a violent gust, but it's full of feathers and flower petals, and it spins faster and faster. And the dry crackle of the leaves grows louder, and as you hear this crackle of leaves, it almost sounds like words, like letters that are etched into the swirling motion of the leaves themselves. As you stand in the center of this leafy whirlpool, you hear the words, "Your magic. It's too far chaotic for you to waste alone reading books. Welcome to Brimstone's University of Magic. See you soon."
Must go tell father at once.
As you say that, the leaves explode outwards, and they coat you in golden flecks of dust. And then the ground beneath you completely vanishes as a portal appears where the ground once was, and it pulls you without a whim straight into this portal.
Well,
At this point, both Marrow and Tilly are pulled into the unknown, yanked forward through twisting, shifting colors, until suddenly you both hit the ground. Thud.
oh,
I want you both actually to roll
quite the
me
landing.
flight rolls to see how well you come out of these portals. And we're going to call it a difficulty of 6. Let's see.
17, darling.
Marrow got a 3. And Tilly got a 17, which is a huge success. So why don't you explain to us how you gracefully emerge from this portal, and then we'll let Marrow explain how he fails.
Well, I mean, you know the old saying, a deerling always lands on its hooves. As we come to the bottom of the portal, I kind of do a tuck and roll and a dainty little trot out. And a flourish, as it were.
Incredible. All right, Marrow, how do you emerge from this portal?
Right next to Tilly is a table filled with fine china and books and like candles. And Marrow comes out face first, straight into the table, clears the table, and then hits the wall on the other side of the table.
Goodness, are you all right?
I'm fine. I've taken worse falls. It's fine. Like, it's fine.
Let me help you. Let me help you up. Oh my goodness, that was quite the tumble you took there, darling.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to help Marrow.
Hey, hello, I'm Marrow Wilson.
Hello, I'm Tilly Lockwood.
Tilly Lockwood. Nice to meet you.
You're quite tall.
You're pretty tall, antlers included.
Yes, I suppose so. If you measure the antlers, I do come to a good 4'6".
Wow, you're quite short. Shorter than I expected. I actually finally stood up off my legs and I'm looking around. Did you get an acceptance letter to the Magical College of Brimstone?
I did, yes. I believe this is what they call trial by fire.
Trial by fire? I thought I wasn't on fire, though.
You're not on fire, darling. Sorry, slip of the tongue. You're gonna have to show me your ways. You sound like you lead quite the adventurous life. Yeah, Tilly's quite concerned at this point, so she's going to be like, well, it's lovely to meet you. I can't wait for us to start at the university. I think this will be quite wonderful, and it's nice to know that I'll have someone else at the same level as me.
Well, I guess we'll just have to be classmates. Just don't stand too close. That's usually how the falling anvils usually catch, collateral damage on other people around me.
Gonna have to get you. It's like a law of physics around you. It's brilliant, it sounds like.
We cut away from you two as you just entered into the grounds here. We cut away to a professor reading a book, standing outside of the Wandering Wand Shop. He's nervously adjusting his too tight professor robes. As you glare at your sleeves, a sharp sounds behind you as you turn to see Professor Caldora Hexworth, one of the school's senior faculty. She looms over you. You know her to be strict, cold-eyed, and she always smells faintly of ink and burnt parchment. She never smiles. Thorn, you are not here to make friends. You are here to ensure that the students do not get themselves killed before they reach the university gates. Do you understand?
Of course, headmistress. Never dare to go against your better judgment.
Good. The school has provided funds for their supplies. Do not let these children spend it all on ridiculous nonsense. They need wands, they need robes and books. They will not be spending it on exploding candy and crazy pranks.
Of course, headmistress, I would again know how much you implore the students to have a sense of honor and dignity when enrolling here at the Bum University.
Correct. Bum holds itself to the highest of standards. I know. This is your first year here. Congrats to saving, of course, the headmaster's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Rewarding you the job.
Of course. No small feat on my part. And I'm honestly just glad to have been able to be of service to not only this prestigious university, but darling young girl.
Thorn, try not to embarrass yourself, and do a good job today.
If I may, headmistress, before you leave, these two new students, I've never been given an assignment like this. Are we sure that they're ready?
The word is that the headmaster is trying to recruit those on the outside of the university, those who have shown great potential with magic. We do not know much about these students, but hopefully you can keep track of them. Keep an eye on them, Thorn.
I definitely will, headmistress. Thank you for your faith in me. Can't let you down.
Good. And she begrudgingly hands you a small leather pouch filled with gold coins. And she's like, those are for the kids to buy their supplies. And with that, she turns on her heels and disappears into a swirling portal, leaving you alone.
As soon as she's gone, it's bitch. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's go meet these stupid-ass kids.
As you say, stupid-ass kids, you turn to face the two students.
Hello, students. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello.
I am Professor Scoutmaster Wildthorn of Bum University. I can't do this. God dang it. Professor thing's new. You both just got a weird letter, both got sucked into a portal, and now you're just standing here and wondering what's going on. Am I right?
Yeah, bad things happen to everybody.
Apparently people that have magic are just fucking weird, which I think is bull. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cuss in front of students. All right.
I think this guy is high.
I don't think he's a teacher.
Let's just go ahead and start introductions, right? Again, Professor Scoutmaster Wildthorn. And you, the lovely individual with the heart of glow around them, with the black under their eyes. What is your name?
Oh, hi, I'm Marrow Wilson.
Marrow Wilson. All right, Mr. Wilson. And you, my dear?
Tilly Lockwood.
Tilly Lockwood, Miss Lockwood. So, is anyone here considered a, quote, adult in the race and or people and or society in which one lives? Ah, hello. Perfect. All right, so you're not children. Fantastic. That makes things so much easier. Oh,
I'm 22, if that
Perfect.
matters.
no, it actually matters. Was it 2020? Okay, perfect. All right, we're in double digits, people. We are just doing great here. I'm gonna be real with you guys, because I feel like, you know what, I'm new to this thing and I really don't care. They want to teach you guys magic. Now, you each got your own little magic spark, and you can do things with it. Like, for me, I here, and I literally, like, grab a piece of mud on the ground and, like, just throw it right in the middle of my chest, smother it all over me, and muddy as hell. And then I'll be like, and charm roll to get rid of it. Like, just going to...
We'll call it a difficulty roll of you're getting rid of mud. You've done this before. Difficulty of 4. Charm.
Hey, still a 7.
That was a critical 1.
Wow.
Wow. Plus your magic die.
Crits aren't a thing, and this critical ones aren't a thing, I don't believe.
Thank goodness. Okay. So a 7. So it happens, but it's not spectacular.
As I point the thing on myself, it's weird. It's like the mud kind of like jumps off of me, forms into like a little clay man, looks at me, spits on the ground, and then falls into a piece of mud.
After Wildthorn does that, you guys see behind him a bunch of fireworks explode above the market district. And all of you turn to look and see the marketplace. It's a small street, but on this street there are multiple shops that just line it with a bunch of little wooden signs on the outside stating what they are and what's on the inside. Of course, Scoutmaster Wildthorn has already been given a slight tour to help guide you guys through everything.
All right, kids. So, again, sorry, habit. All right, students. So, this is basically an agreement. By signing this piece of paper and by coming through the portal, you agree, but not exclusively, to become a student at Bum University. The last thing I will say is that you have each been given a stipend of gold from the university to buy the necessary items for school. And this is what I'm telling you. Now, again, you're adults. Go buy whatever you want. If you want to stick to the little shopping list, yeah, just here's gold. Here, go shopping. Meet back here when you're done. I don't know. Do you want me to come with you? Do you need... I'll come with you. Why not? I don't know. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Chaperone.
Maybe lay off the coffee, honestly.
I've never really been inside of a market before, but where would you find wand?
First lesson at Bum University is to open your eyes and look around. If you look up to your left here, you'll see a sign, and upon that sign it says Wand Shop.
There's a sign, indeed, that says the Wandering Wand Shop. As you guys follow, you get closer. It does not look like much from the outside. Its wooden sign kind of creaks in the wind. The words Wands of Wonder, barely visible beneath layers of old spell burns and arcane etchings. As you guys get closer, the door opens on its own.
It was a lovely trick, Marrow. How did you do that?
Been practicing. Yeah. Did you notice how Professor had 3 first lessons? This is going to be a really hard college to attend.
I don't know. Did you also notice how Professor had 3 first title names? He just
Nobody's
got given the
ever
job.
That important. Bad things happen to everybody.
That is true, darling. I feel like we need to work on your self-esteem because, yes, bad things happen to everybody, but you don't need to focus on it.
Well, you know, it could be worse. But let's go and check out these wands. I'm really excited. I want to see if they have a certain one.
All
As you
right.
two begin to step inside, you smell the air thick, a scent of ancient wood. Marrow, you follow behind Tilly as you step in. I need you to make me a flight roll real quick. Difficulty 4. 6.
Barely made it.
Very good. Oh, your first die was a lucky break. Congratulations. And then you got a 1 on top of that. Plus your 1. Very good.
This is my first
So
successful dice roll.
you look behind you to see that there was a small little creature that was living underneath the welcome mat, and you almost stepped on it and tripped.
What kind of creature is it? Actually, can I make the creature?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a tiny little fox ferret.
Nice. As you guys step completely inside, the air thick of wood and dust, something electric, like the air before the storm. The shop is narrow and impossibly tall. As you look up to the ceiling, it seems like it never ends with just stacks and stacks of wands. Marrow, you immediately notice and take a step back as if to not lean on them or step on them because you know your bad luck would be a disaster here. Tilly, as you step in further, the walls seem to breathe, lined with drawers that occasionally rattle as if something on the inside is restless. There's a soft glow, kind of hums from a floating spiral staircase. But at the front desk, you're welcomed by an elderly half-elf woman with piercing golden eyes. She stands in almost absolute stillness.
Darling?
Eyes follow me. It's really scary.
Are you unable to speak?
Her hand comes up and points directly at Marrow, and she says, "The wands, they have already chosen you.
Chosen me?
Come closer."
That's usually not a good idea for other people, but I will.
As you step closer, the shop seems to exhale. As the staircase creaks above, there are unseen shapes shuffling in the darkness, and the drawers along the walls begin to rattle. Something slamming, opening, and shut as if its hands are rifling through them. Something is in panic, an invisible force. The woman tilts her head towards you, Marrow, her golden eyes narrowing slightly, and for the first time she breathes in. Then a sound, a deep, slow thud. From the highest shelf, something falls. A simple blackened wand tumbles downward, clattering across the wooden floor in complete silence, as if the very air refuses to carry its sound. In the moment the wand touches the ground, the room goes dark. A deep chill spreads from the floorboards. Tendrils of black mist curling around your ankles. Marrow. The wand stops inches from your feet, shuddering slightly as if resisting its own fate. The half-elf says, "Pick up your wand, Marrow, if you dare."
It doesn't seem like I really have a choice at this point. So sure.
You'll be okay. Promise.
Professor Thorne says from outside the window, used to this weird magic shit that happens 24/7 around him.
You'll be okay. Don't be a pussy. Come on.
Do you pick it up?
The fucking wand.
I pick it up.
You reach down, and the moment you touch the wand, a pulse of darkness explodes outwards, warping the light in the room. Shadows stretch unnaturally, pulling towards you. The entire shop itself lets out a deep groan as if the wood itself is alive and recoiling. But the wand burns cold in your grip, way heavier than it should be. And a single voice echoes in your mind, distant, ancient, half lost to time. 2 words.
At last.
Then the shadows retreat, the warmth returns, and the store snaps back into reality as if nothing happened. And the woman, watching you carefully, presses her lips together and says, "That wand has been waiting for a very long time."
It's kind of really cool. It looks like it's burnt peach wood, which peach wood was my mom's favorite kind of trees.
Nice. Please do continue explaining your wand, what it looks like.
And as you get down to the core and where the core meets the shroud, there is a petrified pink tulip inside of a crystal that gains and originates all of its power from.
Before she even elaborates on what just happened to you, Marrow, she turns to Tilly. And she seems brighter, happier, as if she was vibing off of your guys' emotions to help pick out the wands. And she smiles for the first time. She looks at you, Tilly. And she says, Please go ahead." And she points to the stacks and stacks of wands.
All right. I'll proceed forward. And
Step in between these shelves. It feels a little claustrophobic. All of them sit still. None of them moving. Some of the boxes are open. There are some wands just thrown all over the ground. There are wands up and down and all around. There are drawers, baskets. Where would you start?
Come on, Tilly, just let you find your wand. Or you find your wand. Mine came to me pretty easily. It should be the same for you.
But I think what I'll do, since I do come from a line of mages, is that I'm going to summon a bit of chaos magic into my hand and see if anything's pulled towards it.
Very cool. This is going to be a magic roll.
I want something that will be strong and courageous and brave. I want something that's willing to put up a little bit of a fight.
Nice. I love that. Okay, quickly, go on ahead and roll me a grit roll, a magical grit roll. And you're also trying here to cast magic. I'm not even going to see what the total is yet. You're trying here to cast magic without using a wand. So I'm going to call it a difficulty of 14.
Tilly got a 10.
Tilly got a 10. Okay. You do have adversity tokens you can spend, or you can just take an adversity token and let it be.
Let it be.
Okay. Go on ahead and take an adversity token. Now, Tilly, as you reach out and try to cast chaos magic in your hands without even using a wand, the woman behind you sees you doing this and thinks that it's very strange. She gives you an odd kind of look. But as you're doing this, instead of light chaos magic coming in your hand, you can see on one of the very top sections of the wands, one of the boxes begins to light up in this orangish, pinkish color. And it just lights up and starts pulsing.
Do you have a ladder?
You go, yes, of course, of course. And she wanders off into the back. You stand there for a few minutes. She doesn't return.
30 of these shelves. Could I just climb them with my little hoovesies?
You absolutely can try.
Be the adult in the room and stick my head in and be like, let's not break or potentially break thousands and thousands of gold pieces worth of things. If you are needing something, what, on the top, that up there?
Yes.
And I'm gonna, without a wand, reach up and just bring it down.
Perfect. Make me a charm magic roll of 6. You've done this before. This is just force pulling.
It just happens.
Super easy.
And again, without a wand. So like I have my wand in my hand,
Yeah.
but I use the other hand to actually like just bring it
Nice.
down and be like, what do you want me to do?
As you
Oh, lovely.
you succeed on this, so you can explain what happens.
Yeah, so it comes, it kind of like, it starts to shudder a little bit and like, you're like this, there's no way this is gonna work. And then it kind of pops out and then starts to slowly, like a leaf.
Nice.
And it leaves like a little bit of a green trail behind it. And then it turns to orange and red.
And it lands in your hand. And a sense of warmth, adventure, almost feels like it's talking to you through emotion. It's like giving you good vibes, almost.
Smells nice too.
Nice. As it lands in your hand, would you like to explain to us what it looks like?
You know, I'm getting the vibe from it that it's much like how Marrow said it was his mother's favorite wood. This is definitely a maple wood, which is where I'm from, where there's plenty of maple trees. It's a strong, sturdy, sweet-smelling wood. But what feels inside it is a bit of a ferocious animal. A lion's mane. Ruled by the sun. My
Very
little
cool.
chaos baby.
Hell yeah. As you ponder over your wand for a minute, you guys start walking back towards the front of the store. Scoutmaster Professor Wildthorn, after you help Tilly, you look to your left to see the wand shop owner witnessed you casting magic without a wand here on the university premises, and she looks at you, very, very confused.
The legends are true, I know. Anyway.
Are you the first year, Professor.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I am. Professor Scoutmaster Wildthorn.
Well, I am Madame Tevra. You cast magic without a wand?
Oh, no, yes, it's complicated.
I live and breathe wands. And this is disturbing news. Please leave.
No, I totally used my wand. You most likely just saw a shadow. It's totally what happened. Listen, I will pay you so much gold if you will keep your mouth shut. I am not even kidding. Like, I will pull her in close and like, listen, how much gold do you? Like, listen, please do not tell anyone what you saw here. I will literally just like, how much?
I do not need gold, but my
You're
silence
talking like 100,
will remain. But if, for now, you owe me.
Again, I'm gonna buy that silence if you let me. Like,
I do not need gold. But of course, we must remove the tokens from the students by today. She pulls out her wand and she flicks it.
Yeah.
And you can feel the sack get a little bit, lighter. And she goes, "Continue to Bum University. I will keep my silence, but you have not heard the last of Madame Terva."
Yes, madam, of course. And if I may say,
Madame.
Yeah, madame, if I may say, how do I put this lightly? Things are changing, and hopefully for the better.
Yes. She scoots you three to the door, and she shuts it behind and locks it, and she just stands there in that same still face that she had before.
Professor?
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
Everybody's so creepy around here.
Okay. Listen, the university is going to be an experience. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to get a lot. There's going to be a lot of information thrown at you quickly. I'm going to tell you what, the first few days are going to be a little stressful. You're going to have a lot of questions. I'll let you know. I will be right beside you.
Professor, are we bad people?
No. Society just unfortunately has not been kind to you and given you the tools that you need to succeed. However, we're hoping at the university we give you those tools so you can better make use of your abilities. I'm doing my best here to sound like a professor, guys. Like, listen, go get brooms, baby. And as I point, in a quick moment, they'll see my wand. It looks like it was once probably really, really pretty. Like probably the most ornate and beautifully carved wand of like this lilac and this beautiful, like, but it's all cracked now and it's all chipped and it looks very worn and shitty. But if you look super, super close, you'll see like this little crack of gold going all the way down.
I'm going to give you an adversity token for finding a way to organically introduce your wand to everybody. Very good. We love that. As you point upwards, all of you guys look to see another shop with another sign, this time in the shape of a broom, and the words on said broom say, "Swept away." As you read those two words, out from the doors with the ching-a-ling-a-ling of the bell is a broom. Nobody on it. It goes out of the shop and starts running into people and taking people's hats, as if magically attaching to their hats and flying around the whole shopping district with it, trolling everybody. And it zooms right past all three of you, and it takes Wildthorn's hat right off of his head. It is now attached to the broom that is zipping around the shopping district.
Right. Well, that is unfortunate. I was trying to not have my hair come out today, but here we are. What's the shop owner's name, if I may ask? Would I know ahead and know who that is?
His name is Bixley. Bixley. And you tell me if you would know.
Bixley.
And I am going to look up. I am not in the mood today. Not today. Okay, not today. Any other day? Sure. Not today.
As you said, you hear chaos coming from an inside of his shop, but I want you to make me a charm roll. It's gonna be a little difficult. We'll make it a 12 to see if you can get his attention and get him to listen to you.
Oh.
It's
A
only
1 and a 2 right
so-
back to back.
He doesn't listen. Professor Scoutmaster Wildthorn, you fail. So take an adversary token, and he does not listen. He doesn't hear you. There's something else going on that is stopping him from being able to do these things. You three now stand in this area as everyone's hats are stuck to a broom flying around the shopping district. Wildthorn went. Marrow, do you try anything with your brand new wand?
I'm trying to like catch it as it's going by, and then like I want to going to try and cast like a net upon it. Kind of
Nice.
like a little like shadowy net on it.
Oh.
But I don't know how well that would work, if it would work.
We could leave that up to the dice, huh? A net, but a shadowy net. I like that. You've never cast anything like this before, so it's going to ramp up the difficulty a little bit. But since this is kind of like an attack net, we're going to make you do a brawn magic roll, and we're going to make it a difficulty of 9.
Hey.
That's a 9.
Aww.
Exactly. Congratulations. That's good. That means you succeed barely. Tell us what happens.
When it's flying back and forth, the magical shadowy net actually just kind of pushes it into a tree and it gets stuck in the branches and stuff. And then with all the hats, it's all stuck on twigs and stuff. So it's like trying to fly away, but it's all the hats are keeping it in place.
And the broom, I feel like you guys watching can see that the broom seems sad and upset, and now, as if a creature stuck in a net is wiggling. And if it could, it would whine and scream. It's the darkness net just entraps it.
And you've never been taught before, Mr. Wilson?
No, I spent a lot of time just isolated in my room. It was safer
Right.
that way.
Real quick, and this just for my own curiosity, do animals ever come and whisper to you in the middle of the night and tell you deep, dark, horrible things about your existence and or the future?
No, I mean, sometimes like ghostesses and poltergeists will do that, which is like fine. Animals usually just tend to try and eat me, bite me, scratch me, sting me. So that's usually what animals try to do to me.
And you have answered my 3rd, 4th, and 5th question. Thank you.
As the broom is stopped, you gander over and get your hat. Wildthorn, everyone else gets their hats. You guys leave the broom there attached to the tree, and you step into the broom store. Inside this shop, it's not just a store. It's kind of an experience. Brooms of all shapes, sizes, and even personalities zip through the air without order. Some of them jousting with each other, some performing aerial tricks, and others lazily floating upside down, just what seems like napping. The walls, of course, are covered in advertisements, hand-painted signs that shift their messages every few seconds. Why walk when you can fly? 30% off first-time flyers, unless you crash. Brooms, not just for wizards, also witches, thieves, and overly dramatic rich people. Of course, there's no counter. There is just a massive, glowing chalkboard that updates itself magically with the words as you step in. If you break it, you buy it.
We just go into a Bix Sporting Goods.
As you say that, behind the chaos stands Bixley Gearwhistle. He's a gnome with frizzled hair, and he has flying goggles perched on his forehead. His leather jacket is tightly singed, and his gloved hands are just covered in soot. And Bixley himself is in mid-argument, and as you guys turn the corner, he's not yelling at a person, but he's yelling at a sentient broom, which is currently trying to strangle him with its bristles. Hey, fucking get off me! No, you can't get off me! New customers! Hey, hold on 1 minute. Oh, stop that! No biting. No biting. Okay? Okay. We're good. And with a final shove, he hurls the broom across the shop where it angrily flutters off to sulk in a corner. He dusts himself off and looks right at you three, and he goes, "Well, Welcome into Swept Away, the finest, most temperamental broom emporium in the city. You break it, you bought it. And if it breaks you, it's just part of the learning experience. We got some new students. Hey, the professor. How you doing, Wildthorn?
You knocked off my hat. Or should I say, Cynthia, the broom, knocked off my hat.
Oh, yeah.
She's in a tree downstairs.
She okay?
She's fine. Everyone's mad at you again.
Oh, right. They do that a lot. It's hard to
Yeah,
keep brooms, you know. They're all so bipolar. They just like to run around. It's like herding brooms. You ever heard that? Well, it's true.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, 2 new students. They need to buy brooms, and I'm here to pick up mine that should be done being the thing that we talked about added. Anyway, yeah, I'm here to pick it up.
Hopefully, we'll see. But first, Bixley claps his hands. And suddenly, the brooms all start wandering around, like as if walking on their bristles. And they're all like eyeballing you guys, up and down.
Do you take internships? This place is lovely.
I hate it here.
It's so chaotic.
It's too messy.
Chaos, you say? Well, you've come to the right place. Swept Away is nothing more than chaos, and anyway, I say, we live by the skin of our teeth, don't we? But around here, you don't even need teeth. And the brooms circle. And then a small, compact broom suddenly zooms out from the pack, vibrating with barely contained energy. And it begins doing circles around you, Tilly, all the way around your head, and nudging you excitedly, before flipping upside down in midair and shaking itself like a dog wanting its belly to be pet.
I'm going to heed that call. I'm going to give it a fine stroke and go, oh, look at you, you little devil.
Bixley, of course, chuckles and he goes, oh, you've got a hyper one, of course. That's a really good one. I sometimes call it the Storm Chaser 3000, built for speed, no patience for standing still, but I do hope you like turbulence. Anyways, you can tell us what it's made out of and what bonuses it gives you, because we did that during character creation.
So do I remember what it does? No, because it's the one thing my roll chart didn't save. But it is called the Daredevil Duster.
Nice.
And it's a flashy broom. It's flashy.
Hell
It's
yeah.
my sweet baby. It's going to, listen, we're going to get along lovely.
After that, nothing moves. All the other brooms seem to back away slightly, as if hesitant to be chosen by Marrow. The room goes eagerly still. Even Bixley looks at his brooms like, what's going on? You guys never behave this way. Then, a slow creaking sound. And from the darkest corner of the shop, you hear a squeak as a couple of sneakers slowly rise into the air. Unlike the others, they don't zip around like brooms or try to show off. Instead, the sneakers drift forward, silent, weightless, as if moving through water rather than air. The sneakers are a deep black, almost charred, and the laces are unnaturally still. Because you see, sneakers like this have long since forgotten how to be sneakers. But Bixley's grin fades in this moment. He sees the sneakers, and he goes, oh, those ones, huh?
I think they look rather nice. Shoes. I don't ever really get nice shoes. Can't afford them.
The sneakers finally reach you, Marrow, and they hover in front of you, unmoving. And then its laces, they twitch ever so slightly. And you hear something. A whisper. Not out loud, not in the room, once again, in your head. As if the sneakers are talking to you. And the sneakers say, we ride together now.
What in the chariot gang, motorcycle gang? Okay. Sure. Wait, shoes? Shoes, can I not have a broom?
Bixley scratches his head. And he says, well, usually brooms just kind of, they pick the people they want to have. And I'm going to tell you, if the sneakers picked you, then I guess you got the sneakers. We haven't flown around on these kind of sneakers in a long time. I mean, brooms came in and sneakers went out, These are just left over.
Might help with your tricky feet, though, Marrow. You got a bit of the stumbly feet. These might help you float over obstacles.
Maybe.
If you've got something controlling your feet, you better treat them well, because
Well, it's not like I'm gonna walk all over him or anything.
Yeah, pretty funny. Serious moment, though. We call these the Night Whisperers. They don't usually pick anyone, not these sneakers. But it's probably fine. Yeah, definitely fine. It's all good.
Oh, Night Whisperers, sneakers. You're so smart.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I'm not a professor like you, just running a shop.
Oh, yeah, totally, because I'm a professor.
I get it now.
But for real, do you take internships? Can I work here on the weekends? This place is brilliant.
Perhaps it ain't totally, but you got to bring in a resume, so.
Yeah, sure.
All right, settled. The moment, Marrow, that you reach out to touch the sneakers, the temperature around the room drops and the air grows thin, weightless.
Okay.
You're already in mid-flight, and everyone
Right.
stares at you as you touch the sneakers. What do you do?
Marrow kind of like engulfed in the sneakers and just kind of hearing like faint whispering sounds, but nobody else can hear it. And it's not really actual words. It's just like, so he's like trying to kick off his like really tattered boots that you could see have holes in them and like his toes were sticking out of. And then he goes to put on the sneakers and just kind of like once he puts them on, it goes quiet.
All right then, moving on. Wild Thorn. That's right. You as the professor.
I gave you my broom. I'm here to pick it up.
Right.
From-
And it's, supposed to be reliable for you.
Yeah.
And I know you wanted me to add things.
Just the one thing, just that one thing. It was that little enchantment that like whenever I'm riding on it, my hair just kind of like naturally blows when I'm holding it, to like.
Right. So yeah, we did get that. But the thing is, it may have changed your broom a little bit. His personality is a little bit off. Anyways, come on out. Come on. You know who you're here for. Calls out to the back, and then this broom walks on its bristles. And you reach out to grab it, and the broom jerks back away from you, Wildthorn. You step forward, it scoots away. What do you do?
We're going to have words with Bixley.
Why is my broom mad at me?
Oh, buddy, well, it seems that we gave your hair, your broom a fancy hair enchantment and may have turned it into a rebel rider, It turns out that's what you want, right?
No.
Oh.
I wanted my broom that I gave you.
Well, we can keep the hair enchantment if you want. Get you something else, Maybe a fancy, mop.
I'm very confused. I gave you my broom.
I know.
I needed one magical enchantment added to it.
God.
And now I'm coming to pick up the broom, and it
Yes.
is no longer my broom. It is now altered.
Yes. It seems that you've got the situation all figured out. You know exactly what's happening here. It's pretty crazy, right? Fucking
You said
ain't
if I
magic.
break it, I buy it, correct? That's what the chalkboard said.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm going to point my wand at a rack of brooms, and they are all going to snap.
Shit.
And as they do, I'm going to reach into my pocket, drop a giant sack of gold on the counter. Now.
Okay, well, I need you to make me a brawn roll first.
Sure.
This is a violent one with couple of brooms, you say.
Yeah, I was just gonna literally knocking a shelf over in anger.
If you're just knocking a shelf over, we can just make it a brawn roll of 8.
No, it's a spell.
Yeah. Ooh, 7.
As a 7, and I will use one of my adversity tokens to succeed.
Nice! First one of the game. Tell us how this shelf falls over.
So this seems to be a group of brooms that are not yet enchanted, or at least they are in the process, like they are fresh, like just regular brooms that have yet to have the imbued of personality and magic.
Yeah.
And just out of sheer anger, like I kind of point the wand, but it almost I barely even tilt it before the shelf starts vibrating, and literally all of the broom's bristles start to just shake away and then fall over to the ground as if slowly decaying. I'll be like, that broom was older than anyone.
Well,
That broom was over 500 years old.
shit.
May I take a look? I have a way with wood, as it were.
What means, Miss Tilly?
Don't be talking all weird like that in front of your future potential employer.
I'm from the forest. What do you? I'm known to old wood.
Right, you're a deer. Yeah, no, you're right. Hey, I got that all mixed up. Look, I'm flustered right now. Usually I'm really good with brooms and things. And maybe it's because of how old it was, and then I gave it a facelift, and now it's young again. So, it's got young brain, old broom.
Let us see, because listen, even a young brain, even young sprouts come out of an old tree. Let's see if we can't reason with it. I would like to actually try to perform a little bit of magic to try and reason with the broom. It is a sentient broom after all, and the oldest wood is always a bit sentient. And since I'm from a place with lots of old magic wood, I'd like to think that I have a connection. I would say, like, as I communicated, come now. You are not being rejected for being old. I know we all feel different about growing older and maybe going back and repressing in our emotions. You might feel betrayed, but know that Wildthorn loves you just as much as they always have. Just because they helped you upgrade a bit doesn't mean that you're showing your age. You're still young and as vibrant as ever.
Well, this is an important role because now you might also be impressing your future employer, but it's still going to be a charm roll. But it's not too bad. We're going to make it a difficulty of 6. So it's a little difficult, but it's not impossible. It's only a 4. Do you want to spend some adversity tokens?
I'll spend 2. I'll spend 2 adversity tokens.
And then explain to us what happens as you cast your magic and you succeed.
So as I do, as I coo and pet the broom and let it know, I reach out and I go, Wildthorn, darling, may I have your hand? And I take Wildthorn's hand and I guide it to the broom, be like, see there, darling. Wildthorn still loves and cares about you. The broom is going to start to grow a little bit warmer and kind of shake a little bit and just slowly but surely gravitate towards Wildthorn.
Nice.
So as it like locks into me, it's weird. All of a sudden, for a brief moment, it looks like my arm is the broom and my hand and everything is merged and like vines and flowers, and it's the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen in terms of nature. But you blink and it's gone.
You were so beautiful.
50% off all around. That's what I'm hearing.
It seems to me that you came in here and I did mess up something or the other. What I was going to do is just not charge you at all there, Wildthorn, for all your troubles. Right.
I was going to pay you the same amount anyway. I was just going to pay double if needed. I hate everything that you stand for, and every single time I see you, I want to scream and cry.
Awfully dramatic. Yeah, let's keep on this face, right? Yeah, let's pretend. Anyways, my dealing friend, that was very impressive what you just did there, calming down the brooms. I don't know if I've ever been able to do something like that, you know? Yeah, so definitely bring back a resume. We'll see what we can do. Maybe some school credit, you know, could be in it for you, especially because I just lost out on a whole lot of money enchanting a broom. I'll tell you about that later. Didn't go well. Anyways, off you pop.
Goodbye.
Don't forget, Cynthia's out downstairs still, stuck in a net.
Oh, right. All right, and as you guys begin to leave, you hear a lot of commotion, and it almost sounds like Bixley begins yelling at the brooms for their behavior. He's like mad at them, but they continue to fly around and don't listen to him at all. It's like as if there was 500 puppies in a room, and you're yelling at the puppies to behave, but they don't understand that command.
You just need to know how to talk to your wood, darling.
I will turn to the students in this moment and be like, students, I wanted to teach you a lesson. You need to study. You need to learn. You need to know exactly what you do with your magic. Otherwise, I'm going to point back to the shop. And there's like crashing and shattering and things are like dust is coming. And it's just, you know, before you go out into the world and try to like get people's money, maybe know at least something of what you're doing. Like you're supposed to be a businessman that works in brooms, yet you can't handle a simple enchantment okay. Anyway, getting off topic.
Can I say that Cynthia the broom looks very sad?
Yeah.
Like,
she does.
Really, really sad.
Now, you guys continue forward. You're walking towards what Wildthorn knows as Familiar's Alley. And, of course, it's not where Wildthorn expects it to be. It's not a grand store with a sign hanging above the door. It's not even in this main shopping district, nor is it really even advertised anywhere. But, as you guys are walking, once again, I need Marrow to make me a flight check. This time, difficulty of 12.
Yeah. Oh, wrong one. It was... Your flight, not good. That's a 2.
It's a 2. Oh, you're underneath your feet. Darts a small ferret fox. on fire. It darts through your feet. It knocks you down to the ground, flat on your butt. And your new flying shoes flutter in anger as they're almost caught on fire. You other two look to see the flaming fox ferret dart down a narrow, twisting alleyway to your right. And a second later, a small flock of pastel-colored birds fluttered past, singing in a language that no one quite understands, but it's definitely not bird chirps that you're doing. Then the wind shifts, and a ethereal veil of golden mist rolls across the ground, revealing a space that wasn't there a second ago. Between two ordinary buildings stands a shimmering archway of floating lanterns. Their warm glow casts soft dancing patterns on the stone. Through the archway, the air kind of changes, as you can see. It's warmer in there, and it's alive with movement, but not people, animals, monsters, familiars.
And here you will find your familiar. This will be your pal, your friend, the thing that can never leave your side, because guess what? If something were to happen to it, you will learn the ability to resummon it at your disposal. Isn't that fun?
I have one, Professor.
Of course. And I will, out of nowhere, just without a wand, just kind of like grab the air and just kind of pull. And it's like this little rip happens, and floating out of it in this perfect sphere of water is a little fish. It's like a blue and black and kind of white patterned fish. And it's a beta, and it's in a little ball of floating water that just kind of hovers near my head and kind of around. Like, this is Billy the beta. I've known Billy for at least 30 years, and gosh, love having them around.
Oh, look at you, you little fella. You're quite charming.
You can reach into the water. He is ticklish, of course.
May I?
Of course you can pet the fish.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Sticking my finger in that wet mess. That's happening.
I would say he probably like giggles and like kind of rolls around whenever Tilly touches him, and as soon as Marrow touches him, he just kind of goes. It's just like, he likes you. No. I will say, in terms of like reading your two's magic vibes, like that's a good thing. He didn't throw up or die, so we love that.
Jeez.
Is that a normal thing that happens?
Oh no, Billy has died multiple times.
As you guys step forward, the alley in front of you is long, winding, and impossibly deep, stretching further than the city should allow. Floating wooden stalls and makeshift carts line the way, each brimming with creatures both wondrous and bizarre. As you step further inside, you can see a stall filled with crystal glowing frogs, each one croaking in perfect harmony. There's a massive, sleepy owl wearing reading glasses that seems to be offering advice to the other animals and creatures. Of course, there's a small cluster of foxes with 2 tails each, yipping at a merchant trying to hurry up their dinner. There's a snake with feathered wings, a basket of just black kittens. Of course, the air here is full of the smell of lavender and hay, as if someone's trying to cover up the smell of the animals. At the heart of it all, a colorful tint billows in an unseen breeze, covered in patchwork fabric, with the tiny, blinking eyes that are sewn into the seams. And a gnarled wooden sign swings above the entrance. It says, "Familiars and friends, pick carefully." And stepping out from the tent is a tall, gangly woman with silvered hair that's wrapped up in an elaborate nest of braids at the entrance of this thing, and she steps forward and says, "Hello, my name is Mistress Periwinkle." You notice she has one single large owl-like eye in the center of her forehead that does not blink.
Miss Periwinkle, it is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your space. I have 2 students here that are looking to find their first familiars as they begin their journey.
You do not pick the familiar. The familiar picks you.
Well, yes, yes, of course, respect your craft and all. Really like her. She's actually like really legit, like one of the only legit people that are on this like run. So like, I love.
So does that mean we can go pick a familiar now?
Yes, take a gander.
Oh, it's like a petting zoo.
Say that. You step forward, Marrow. At first, everything seems fine.
I step closer.
As you step closer, the other creatures step back.
taking like another sad step forward.
And they all step back. On this second step, a flicker of movement. From the deepest corner of the alley where the lanterns burn just a little bit dimmer, something stirs. A small, wiry creature slinks forward, moving with the weight of something ancient despite its tiny size. Is it a black cat? Is it a crazy-looking creature? As it steps forward, its mouth opens wide, thousands and thousands of little teeth and eyes dangling off of its body, and it lunges at you. But as it does, from the shadows, fiery ferret fox jumps from the other side and tackles this weird creature to the ground. And with a yip, it slinks back off into the darkness. The fiery fox ferret sits at your feet, waggling its 50 fiery tails, looking up at you.
Thanks, little dude.
And it jumps up onto your arm. And for a second, your sleeves catch fire, but you pat it out. And as it goes further up, it's like fire, but also not fire. Almost like a magical fire that has no effect as it sits on your shoulder.
We're gonna have to figure out a name for you, little guy.
The creature has picked its owner. We love this. When this happened, congratulations, a very, very rare creature, too. The only one we have.
Well done, Mr. Wilson. Well done indeed.
Give you a second to pick. Tilly, what do you do?
I'm going to actually use one of my strengths that I
Nice.
have. And I have wild speak that I can communicate with any species that I have knowledge of. And I'm going to just essentially be able to, I'm going to just sit on the ground and see who comes to me.
As soon as you sit down, almost immediately, actually, there's like a fur energy launches itself from one of the perches. It's like a small, chaotic, and moving too fast to be identified kind of animal. It circles around you, Tilly, just flurrying up your robes, and then hopping onto your head, and then back down, and then back on your head, and then back down, and a second later, it vanishes in a puff of smoke, only to reappear on a nearby shelf, laughing. It's got brown fur, a wet black nose, and its fur, yeah, sure, it's constantly changing between blue and brown and amber, and its eyes twinkle mischievously, as if it knows the secrets about the universe, but it refuses to share them. It wiggles its nose, and then it casts minor illusion, filling the air with tiny dancing lights, and jumps off the shelf, through the lights, and into your lap. It is a capybara with little fairy wings.
Oh, look at you, you little potato. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and I'm immediately going to go in for belly scratches. I'm going to just give belly scratches as much as I can.
Ah, yes, a troublemaker. Very fitting. The capybara blinks
I
up
like
at you
her.
as
She's
you're
got moxie.
scratching it. Moxie, you say?
Yes. I mean, look at her. She's a little lump, but she's ferocious. Aren't you ferocious? Yes, you are.
The capybara blinks up at you, grins. And then, with a dramatic flourish of its tiny little paws, it bows deeply before climbing inside of your robes, as if it had always belonged there.
Oh, it looks like I'm taking this little lady home. That's what's happening today.
Very good, very good. You have chosen. Do you students have names for your familiars? Of course, to keep them and take them out of Familiar Alley, you must name them first.
I mean, she's got Moxie. I think Moxie's a fairly good name.
Moxie. Very good. Mr. Wilson.
We're gonna name ours Kitsu.
Very cute. Is there a reason behind your naming?
I don't know. It's just kind of what it spoke to me.
Oh, very good. Very good. Wildthorn, you have your own familiar already.
Yes, Billy, of course, the beta. I don't know how to. I'm going to kind of like try to bring her a little bit to the side, but not be really good at being subtle. He seems to be growing. I don't know what that means, but he seems to be getting a bit bigger.
I sense magic in your fish.
Yes, I've sensed it too. It's been growing on me. Either way, I'm sure it's nothing. Thank you, and of course, make sure you pay.
Yes. She gets real close to Billy the Beta, almost like puts her nose in the bubble of water. And as she stares at it, Billy the Beta stares back. And then with one large dramatic blink, Billy the Beta, absolutely for no reason, actually, that you don't even connect the two, maybe, your robes turn bright pink.
Well, how about that?
Hey?
Actually, I kind of like this color. Lovely.
It is it is decided.
Billy.
Seems your familiar likes you.
You dog. All right. So, students, let's see here. Take a look-see. Because again, vibes are everything when it comes to magic. We have our wands looking stunning. We have our brooms, fabulous. We have our familiars, the whole package deal. You look like a wizard.
They do
A
indeed.
magic person.
I think it's time you take these students to the university, Mr. Thorne. Do you remember the way?
Of course I do. Unfortunately, they burn it into our minds with a spell when we get past professors. Can't lose our way. Annoying. So thank you.
You're welcome. As you guys begin to leave, the golden mist rolls in again, and the lanterns dim one by one, and by the time you reach Main Street, the alley is gone, as if it had never been there before. But as you stand there, the ground beneath your feet rumbles.
Also, do they realize how silly of an acronym their university is?
No, you'll see.
Oh, it's unironic.
Yeah, no, they legitimately think it's a good name.
Oh,
Listen, this is my first year teaching here. I have no loyalty to these people. I mean, I kind of do. It's weird.
As you're leaving, the ground begins to rumble beneath your feet. Shop signs sway, a potion bottle falls inside of a shop and shatters and bubbles with unnatural energy. A bystander mutters, "It's the third one this month, probably nothing." And he continues walking past you guys. Wildthorn, you then lead these guys to the entrance to the university. Of course, it's a ways away from the shopping district. Walks you guys to the center of the marketplace.
Keep saying
You can
Jesus.
see here, there's a giant golden and marble fountain in the center of the marketplace. Water spills from the mouths of what seem to be enchanted stone lions as they walk around the fountain and spit water back into the fountain, as they glow faintly with magic. As you guys approach, a small, elderly wizard with glasses, way too big for his face, approaches you guys mumbling an incantation. Wildthorn, you know that this man will cast the spell to open up the portal in the fountain to get you to the school. All you have to do is say the code word to transport.
As we approach, I will say, pay attention, students. This is the entrance to our lovely university. At least one of the ones mainly known to everyone. To enter, you simply approach the fountain. This is the Samuel. And you just say the incantation with your wand. I really love being a bum.
Is that what we're going
And
could have been diagonally. You know what I mean? All right. I really love being a bum. All right.
listen, I don't make the passphrases. This is
Why do I feel like someone named Jack Hole Jones made the password?
possible.
But he definitely had fun with it.
All right. As you say, before you don't even get to respond to them, because you say, "I love being a bum." And then without warning, the water from the fountain rises, and it curls around you, Wildthorn, like liquid threads. And then the next moment, you vanish in a splash, leaving these two by themselves.
You want to go next?
Marrow, I think you should go next. That way I can make sure if you don't get through, at least I can give you a push from behind.
Okay, we're gonna try and give it our best.
All right. I'm going to need you to make, this is transport. I'm going to need you to make me a flight roll. Difficulty 6. It's easy. Since whenever you do magic for the first time, it's a little bit more difficult. And then as you learn it and you've done the spells before, it becomes easier. So, I mean, like just transporting to the school shouldn't be this difficult. But since you've never done it before, it's a little hard. So say it and wave your wand.
I love being a bum.
And the water swirls out of the fountain around your feet in a circle of water. And then in a splash, you're gone until he's by yourself. And the old man's like, "You're going to go? You're going to go?"
All right, I'm going home. No.
I mean, yes, if you want to just leave.
Got my magic up bouncing.
Yeah?
I've got my equipment. I'm going home.
Did you hear?
No. I really love being a bum.
And as you say that, the water comes out, engulfs you in a splash, you're gone. And then, in a thump, all three of you arrive, one at a time, right in front of Brimstone University. The first thing you feel is the crackling energy in the air. Thick, again, like the moment before a lightning strike. The air in this whole area, in this quad of this school, is filled with magic. And the ground beneath you, you can see is ancient stone, yet it almost seems like it's alive as it pulses faintly below your feet. And before you stands Brimstone's University of Mystics, a fortress of twisting spires and ancient bridges and staircases that move on their own accord. The walls, of course, are lined with glowing runes, shifting and rearranging as if whispering secrets. Above the entrance, floating letters spell out today's announcement: welcome new students. Please avoid the bottomless pit. And standing right behind you, as if he'd always been there, is Headmaster Brimstone, the 39th. He's a tall, wiry, and grinning man that looks like he knows every single secret of the universe, and his robes are half burned, and he appears to have misplaced his staff again, but he appears behind you instantly and says, "Ah, wonderful, you've made it. I must admit I had some doubts. Took you a while to get here, didn't it?"
Of course, Headmaster. Very interesting group this year, to say the least.
And then as you look away for 1 second, he appears behind Marrow and says, "Well, I assume I should get on with it, shall we?"
Indeed. Looks like we have a full class this year.
And again, he appears way too close, like face on face with Tilly. He's like, "I say we go into the school. What do you say?"
After you, good sir.
Is this one
You're caught in the headlights. I'm scared.
Oh, she's scared. Well, he takes a step back and he dances and spins as his robe just flurls in the wind, revealing his bare feet. He's not even wearing shoes as he dances on the ancient stone. He claps his hands and the two large golden gates open to the entrance of Brimstone University. And he says, "Welcome to the first day of the rest of your lives."